First, live, local. This is Fox 12 Now.
Hello, everyone. This is Fox 12 Now. Thanks for joining us. I'm Greg Nibbler. We appreciate your time being here. We're live streaming out of the Fox 12 Oregon newsroom. We're here every weekday starting at 1 o'clock. We go throughout the afternoon and we cover a wide range of topics. This one may be a little bit niche, but if you are in the southeast Portland area, maybe even downtown, I've heard reports of all the way up into North Portland, even in Vancouver, Milwaukee. This is for you, which is a lot of people. You may have last night being February 1st, the night of February 1st, heard a loud explosion or a boom around 11:15 p.m. I myself am a Southeast Portland resident. I did hear it. It did seem to shake some things, and it was really, really loud. So what was that? There is speculation all across Reddit, X, Nextdoor, Facebook, whatever you have, of what this could have been. And I thought, you know what, why don't we go to maybe somebody who might be able to illuminate at least what it is or maybe what it isn't. And that is what we're doing right now. Thank you to Rick Graves, who is joining us here for this mystery segment here on Fox 12 Now, because it doesn't sound like there was any like specific damage that happened to anyone or nobody hurt from this. But I'm telling you, man, it was loud. There was a loud boom that happened last night. And Rick, I wanted to know, for you, did you all receive any calls about this or any kind of report on what this could have been?
You know, interestingly enough, Greg, we did respond to a potential commercial fire at that time. As I reviewed the notes, it was exactly what you talked about. There was a loud boom, an explosion of some sort. Some people reported calling into the dispatch center, seeing white smoke, and thought, I might be weaving your Reddit guidance that I read through that Reddit thread, and it was like anything from a meteor to who knows what, right? I mean, there's a lot of theories there. But I will say that our organization, Portland Fire and Rescue, responded to a potential commercial fire at 11:15 last night. It was actually the dispatch center received calls at 11:19. Our crews responded at 11:21 and arrived in the area at 11:24. So 5 minutes after the dispatch center received a call of a suspected commercial fire associated with this explosive sound that you shared with me. And we found nothing. We found nothing in the area of Southeast Mill and Southeast Grand, which was the initial location of direction. We had engines circling the area, and basically we were unable to locate any sort of emergency response need. So that doesn't mean that there wasn't a loud explosion. It just means that that particular loud explosion did not cause any sort of dramatic need for an emergency response. No one was injured. There was no affected fire as a result. So we went back home.
Yeah, so you got out there, you got this folk all over this, and there's nothing there. I saw some speculation, that this could, again, this is speculation of what you read online, but I have heard of this before where people setting off fireworks could be a possible cause of this. Do you get a lot of calls about illegal fireworks this time of year, like mortars, that kind of thing?
We don't necessarily receive many calls as a result of firework use at this time of year. Typically, those occur at those traditional times when people are well known to try to celebrate using aerial fireworks and whatnot. But we will respond to these on occasion. There seems to be, via my own investigation with the Reddit threads about the city of Portland, there does seem to be peaks and valleys of where these have dense occurrences of explosions. There was a period of time in the northwest part of town that I was reading about this. I kind of start my day trying to figure out what's going on in the local Oregon news. What do I need to prepare myself for? And occasionally it's these loud booms. And sometimes I'm directed by somebody like yourself who reaches out and says, hey man, I heard this. What did you go on? Or sometimes it's just me coming across it. But we do go on these explosions. They're not often definitively fireworks, but occasionally they are. We obviously know the dangers of fireworks, and we encourage people to stay away from them. But I don't know what happened last night, but it certainly seems like you experienced it and others experienced it. We just didn't have an emergency to address.
Gotcha. So it's just not something, that caused an emergency. It's still then technically kind of a mystery, I guess, of what it is. Yeah, of what could have caused this. There's one other thing. Since I do have you here, I just wanted to ask this, and this is something that I frequently hear because, yeah, you do hear loud booms. I mean, they could be a source of anything. Lots of different sources for that. But one that I frequently read about is that a potential of propane canister explosions. Is that something that you respond to very often? Something like that could cause a fire, I suppose, if a propane canister exploded?
Yes, that could occur. However, there are safety designs in those canisters that have pressure release valves. So if those canisters are impinged upon by fire or heat, that's such going to elevate the gas activity within that canister to potentially what's called BLEVE. That's an explosive action of a tank. Effectively, it's a long acronym. A tank will rarely explode because they have these pressure relief valves that allow that overpressurized gas to release rather than actually just blow the canister up. So we don't necessarily experience those frequently. They can occur. It is such that they can overwhelm that pressure release valve and will have an explosive reaction within the tank. But people are pretty smart and try to avoid that. It happens once and then it's designed out, right? So there's been a design such to allow them to be so ubiquitous, like to have 5 alongside my garage for my, space heaters and for my barbecues or whatever it may be. We're set.
Gotcha. So that's not going to be a very frequent thing, then, it sounds like.
Very, very infrequent. It can occur. I'm not saying it doesn't.
Right.
But it's just a very infrequent occurrence.
For people, wherever they may be, if they hear like an explosion like that or a boom, whatever that may be, is there a protocol you would recommend for somebody to do?
Go open your window, take a look at it. If there's an emergency that's associated with that explosion, certainly call 911. I believe that the online firework usage reporting form is available 365 days a year. So if you want to get online to the portal and report the use of a potential firework, that just provides our organization and the city more information about potential firework use. But unless there's an emergency and you see something, there's no real need to dial 911. It's just taking services and placing them focused in an area when it may not be needed. And that reduces our response reliability in the event an emergency comes up in that area and we're sort of driving around in circles looking for a potential emergency that actually doesn't occur. So take a look at it, evaluate it. If there's an emergency, absolutely call 911. If not, and you want to report a potential online firework use, that's helpful in our data mining, and we just go forward that way. So call us when you need us. We'll show up. Last night we were called. We weren't needed, but we showed up and tried to figure it out as best possible. And you and I are standing here right now going, I just don't know.
That's the bottom line. Sometimes you just don't know. All right, Rick, thank you so much, though, for having the time to talk to me about this. I really appreciate it.
Oh, I appreciate it. No problem. Anytime, Greg.
All right, awesome. Thanks, man. I'll let you go. Thanks, Rick.
Yeah.
And for those watching again, this is Fox 12 Now. We are live streaming here. And you know what? If you heard it and you have any kind of an idea, feel free to send me an email, fox12now@kptv.com, of what that could be. But we're investigating things, and we're lucky enough to have Rick here join us just to talk about that, at least from Portland Fire Rescue standpoint of what it was. And it sounds like nobody hurt, no damage, just a mystery boom explosion or something over mystery boom, I should say, over Southeast Portland. All right, well, that's it for right now. We have plenty more here for you, but this is, since we do get to do Fox 12 Now live streaming, we can do these longer form segments where you actually, have conversations like this. We're going to be talking about the Oregon legislature and some action that they are taking to possibly legalize K cars coming up, or K trucks. We're also going to speak to Washington State University about how to manage a potential forest if you have one on your land, or even just a grove of trees. We'll talk about that. They've got some classes for you. So plenty of things here. And if there's breaking news, we'll have that for you as well. All right here on Fox 12 Now. We'll talk to you soon.